per litre. The new fuel prices in Walvis Bay will thus become $20.65 per litre for diesel and $18.28 per litre for petrol. Now, fuel prices, according to the rest of prices across the rest of the country, will also be adjusted accordingly. And to give us more details on the matter is Abednego Ekandjo, an economist in the Directorate of Petroleum Affairs Department in the Ministry of Mines and Energy. A very good evening, Mr. Ekandjo. Thank you so much for joining us.
Very good evening to you. Thank you for calling us in.
All right. Now, Mr. Ekandjo, just talk to us about the fuel prices review that the ministry completed. What are some of the issues that came about?
Yeah, so basically, as you might be aware, the ministry conducts a review of the fuel prices on a monthly basis. So this time around, we did the review for the month of January 2023, and our calculations are showing that we have huge over-recoveries on both products, petrol and diesel. So on diesel, we have an over-recovery of around 220 cents, or rather $2.20, and on petrol, 180 cents, or rather $1.80. Right. So based on that, a decision was then taken to reduce the fuel prices. So the prices of diesel will decrease by 220 cents, and the prices of petrol will decrease by 180 cents. All right. And this will come into effect on Wednesday, the 4th of January, 2023.
All right. Now, what are some of the factors that have an influence on the increase and the decrease of fuel prices?
Yeah, so there are many global factors that affect fuel prices. For example, one is the dynamics of demand and supply. You have the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, that's OPEC. So decisions that are taken by OPEC on whether to increase or to cut production, oil production, also affects fuel prices. You have your exchange rate between the Namibian dollar and the US dollar. So currently we see there is a bit of an appreciation of the NAM dollar against the US dollar, so that's a good thing. You have your shipping costs because you need to ship this fuel from international markets to the Namibian shore, and a host of other many factors such as your domestic levies and taxes, such as your RFA levies, your MVA levies, your fuel taxes, the margins that goes to service station owners, the margin that goes to wholesalers. So there are many factors that affect fuel prices at the end of the day.
All right. Now, looking at all those factors, can Namibians look forward to an increase in fuel prices later on in the year?
Yeah, with this market, you never know because there are a lot of factors that can come into play. For example, we have seen China opening up its economy after those strict COVID restrictions. And China is actually one of the biggest fuel consumers in the world. So that can also play a role in the calculus of OPEC, the decisions that OPEC makes to either increase supply or cut oil production. So you have a lot, and you cannot really say that in February we'll see an increase or a decrease because many factors can come into play. I can give you the example of last year. Nobody could have predicted the impact that the conflict between Russia and Ukraine would have brought onto the fuel market. So there are a lot of factors at play that can affect fuel prices in the future.
Now, we are talking about the decrease in fuel prices. If you could perhaps just repeat to us one more time when these adjustments will come into effect?
Yeah, so the adjustments will come into effect on the 4th of January. That's at midnight. Immediately from the 3rd to the 4th of January, that's Wednesday. So diesel will go down by 220 cents and petrol will go down by 180 cents per liter.
Mr. Ekandjo, thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we look forward to the prices decreasing.
Thank you so much for hosting us.
That was Abednego Ekandjo, who is an economist at the Ministry of Mines and Energy, talking to us about the fuel prices that are expected to decrease as of midnight, the 4th of January 2023.